there's something very important on this. The people sometimes say to me, is this a Republican book or Democratic book? Who's it more favorable to? And let me tell you, I can go through this decade by decade, and I can point an accusatory finger at one party or another. The blame sits on both sides of the aisle because of the fact that Big Pharma has bought both sides of the aisle. And you want the best evidence of that is this year during the pandemic. The very first $8.3 billion bill put through by the government. So we had the Trump administration, and the House is in our hands, in Democratic hands. The first $8.3 billion bill put through, which is $3 billion to funding a vaccine, included two parts of the language in the first draft. One was to say that if the companies return with too high a price, the federal gave them real teeth, the federal government, to knock the price down so it was affordable for distribution. The other part said that none of you who restore money for your research will have intellectual property rights. None of you will own it and be able to get a patent and sell it exclusively. You're gonna have to share the information. And guess what? That $8.3 billion was passed a week later, and those two elements were stripped out. And everybody on the Hill, Republicans and Democrats, had to agree to it. So, I say that on this case, we've been mangled by Big Pharma on both sides of the aisle, and that's unfortunate. Yes, there's Bernie Sanders and there's Elizabeth Warren and people who have really said, we're going to bring you to toe. But for the most part, what I call the corporate Democrats and the Republicans, they are being held by the pharmaceutical industry.